Mars. I'm sure we've all heard about Elon Musk's crazy plans to shoot lasers at the planet, or NASA's trip to Mars planned in 2030. Everybody wants to colonize this planet, and it's clear why. Mars gives us a never before seen opportunity for scientific development and to answer the universe's biggest questions. But there's one problem, one threat lurking in the shadows, ready to take it all away: the lack of proper nutrition. To put it simply, space food sucks. It's extremely heavy, weighing in at 325 kilograms per person per year on the International Space Station. And it takes 45% of cruise time to manage this food. That's 45% less time working on what actually matters, which is discovering, testing, and learning. It also doesn't make sense transportation-wise. We would have to send the food in supply shipments such as this, and this would cost at minimum $100 million to $1 billion per shipment. And it would take 9 months for it to reach from Earth to Mars. And this window of opportunity opens every 2 years. But the worst part is that it isn't even nutritious. The current food sent to the International Space Station doesn't meet the recommended daily intake for vitamin B1, calcium, potassium, vitamin K, and vitamin D. And this can lead to problems that can't be solved, including neurological impairments, bone loss and weakening, heart rhythm disturbances, prolonged bleeding, increased risk of cancer, and nerve damage. Humanity has not come all this way for this, all this way to be limping on the red planet, counting down your last days. So enter Spirulinx, the company that's making the superfood of the future. In summary, we're genetically modifying an organism to live on Mars, and then we're going to use its organic matter or biomass to create a very nutritious supplement. The organism we're going to use is spirulina. And this is a nutritious superfood that's chock full of all essential amino acids, minerals, vitamins, fatty acids, and a lot more. It's also carbon negative, as it takes in carbon dioxide and releases oxygen in the process of photosynthesis. And lastly, it grows rapidly, giving us a lot of food in not a lot of time. But the problem is it can't survive on Mars. This is because there's 50 times more radiation on Mars than Earth. There's also 100 times less atomic pressure. The temperature ranges from -90 to 20 degrees every single day, and CO2 is very difficult to access as it's high up in the atmosphere. So we're going to use CRISPR-Cas9 to genetically modify spirulina so it can survive in these harsh conditions. The first thing we're going to do is splice the RECA gene to increase growth in radiation by 70%. Then we're going to splice the GLC-NAC gene to increase the resilience to breakage by 50%. Then we're going to modify the HSP to increase the durability with temperature by 60%. And lastly, we're going to splice the RCBL promoter to increase metabolic processes by 50%. And if we do this, we can cultivate spirulina directly on the Martian surface with no compromise to its nutrition. To do this, we're going to have a cyanobacterial pond on Mars that's going to be full of water, human urine, and Martian regolith to create a growth substance that can provide the essential nutrients to spirulina. Then we're going to use centrifugation to separate the water from the biomass, a vacuum drying system to dry the biomass further, a ball mill system to grind the biomass into powder, and a multi-layered siever to ensure the powder is as fine as possible. The overall system will look something like this. And when it's done, we're going to have a spirulina powder. And this can be consumed in a variety of ways, depending on the astronaut's personal preference and if they like the spirulina's taste. And the thing is, you only need 500 grams of this powder per year. Or to put it another way, 1 glass every 5 days fulfills your nutrient needs for a year. But don't take it from us. Dr. Moon, James Seacrest, and Nicola Kegel, all experts in the biotech and space field, all support our idea and are even willing to collaborate with us and fund us. We've wanted to become a multi-planetary species since we've known what planets were. This has been a goal held on to humanity for millennia. Are we really going to let something like the lack of proper nutrition stop us from doing this? I didn't think so. So join Spirulinx to enable a healthy lifestyle on Mars.